This is a game. One of my favorite games of all time. A game known as Okami. It seems to have fallen under the radar of a lot of gamers and didn't really sell all that well. It really deserves more attention than it got. Capcom said that it sold pretty well, but according to the numbers, I think it should have sold a lot more than it did. This game is phenomenal. It is an action-adventure game, sort of like Zelda, but not quite. It's definitely its own action-adventure type of game, even though that it's got dungeons and stuff like that in it. Lots to do, lots of exploration. The overworld is massive. The game is I was gonna say the game graphics are phenomenal. It is styled in a Japanese painting sort of style thing. The whole game looks gorgeous, and that's one of the main things that I actually wanted to talk about in this video. Like, you know, I always say that graphics aren't important to the game. You know, the gameplay is what matters most of all. But if I were to pick a game to play solely based off its graphics, its beauty, this would be the one. This would no doubt be the one that I would play. And you'll see what I mean when I get to the actual gameplay. This right here is just a little bit of storyline here, a little bit of backstory on what's going on here. Since this is a random gameplay video, I'm not going to go into any details or of sorts or anything like that. But this is sort of important to show, even on this random gameplay here, so that you can get a taste of what this game is like. Now, there's a lot of dialogue in the first part of the game, because, you know, it's introducing you to the game story as well as the characters. I should say the backstory as well as the characters. So, this is going to be sort of dialogue heavy, but I assure you, it will be worth the wait, so stick around. Now, what you're seeing here is a Japanese painting style, but when you see the whole game in motion, prepare to be in awe. Well, unless you've played this game before. Then you know what's coming. This game has two different graphical styles, actually. They have this Japanese painting sort of side-scroll thing, if you want to call it like that. If that makes any sense. And then they have the actual 3D gameplay, which looks like a living, breathing Japanese painting, as I've been saying this whole time. Whenever people like critique games like this for not like having realistic graphics, one thing that I always like to say is that a game that looks realistic right now will look dated 3 years from now. If you like compare a game of today that's considered realistic with a game 3 years ago that was also considered realistic, the game that was made 3 years ago will look highly dated compared to the one of today, and that will, you know, they'll just keep improving graphics until they're more and more real. But I don't think they'll ever like really be able to create photorealism. That's just my personal opinion, because it's just very hard to get all, I should say, graphics as good as HD video quality or something like that. It's just impossible to recreate that. It just feels like that to me. Like, even when you play a PC game that supposedly is photorealistic, there's just something that feels missing from it. It's hard to describe, but if you've ever compared a photorealistic PC game to a, you know, real-life video, you know that there's just something that's a little bit off. But games like this, that have graphics like this, it will look as good as it does now. 20 years from now, it will still be just as awe-inspiring as now. because they didn't go for realism. They went for an artistic graphical style. And that is exactly the kind of graphics that I like in my games. That also should give you an idea of the other kinds of games that I like with graphics such as this, like, for example, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Well, I wouldn't say that it's artistic per se. Well, I guess it is pretty artistic, but it is extremely cartoony, but in a good way. Like, it's so cel-shaded beautifulness, whatever you want to call it. The cel-shaded beauty of it is just, wherever you look in the game, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Even though it's not real, it looks very cartoony. Not like a watercolor painting like this right here, but like the most beautiful cartoon you could possibly see. And that is another example of the game graphics that will never ever look old, no matter how old the game gets. Speaking of, like, games that are kind of dated by today's standards, if you were to look at a game like, say, Sonic Adventure 1, it is still a good game, but there's a lot of stuff in it that seems dated to today's standards. As some people may not be willing to admit that, but it's kind of true, because, you know, you've got the physics glitches that are a lot more worked out compared to, I mean, a lot more smooth nowadays than it was in the Sonic Adventure period. It just, a lot of things in it. As I said, the game is still good. It's still very worth playing. As you know, I made a walkthrough on the game. I would never play a game I didn't think was good, even to this day. But just looking back at it, it's not up to today's standards. But a game like this, indeed it is. And I've been talking so much about that, because this dialogue is very lengthy. Perhaps I should have put the prologue in its own video or something like that. I'm unsure up to this point. But if you're paying attention to the story and not my commentary, you're probably a little teary-eyed at the moment that Shiryuni's passing. But it was a worthy sacrifice for the village, I guess. Even though that Shiryuni is like the god of this world. I don't really have much more to say about this story, because, as I said, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I will say that this game's story is based off of a Japanese tale. It's sort of reimagined in its own way. I can't say what that one is, because I may just very well spoil the story for you if you know what that tale is. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And now we're getting into the juicy stuff. We're at the Moon Cave now. Yep, that's the sword that banished Orochi. Well, kill him, seal him, whatever. Seal him, excuse me, yeah. A fairy tale, you say? Oh dear. That doesn't look like a fairy tale to me. No, 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 no. Now this is the game's graphics in motion. Look me in the eye, well, look me in the voice, and tell me that this doesn't look beautiful. No, don't do it! Jeez, man. Do you really want this dragon dude to rule the world? That's what I thought. And as you play this game, you'll know who that guy is soon enough. Destruction never looked so artistic. Nah, loading screen! You are the bane of all my walkthroughs' existences! Those pauses in the action. Then again, the music kept going, and yeah. It still kept the mood. Because it wasn't like a pure silent loading screen, the music just kept playing, and yeah. Well, you get the idea. Hi, hello there. You look very familiar. Blocked! She seems to be quite the powerful wood sprite. I mean, geez, she just stopped the rock from flying at that statue over there. Uh-oh. Looks like the statue isn't really a statue after all. Meet Okami Amaterasu, the hero of this story. Yes, you play as a wolf. Surprised? Well, you shouldn't be. It's on the game's cover, basically. In other words, Amaterasu is Shioruni, basically. She is not impressed. Long-winded speeches are not for Amaterasu here. My god, this looks awesome! This I shall do. What the? Hey, don't touch there. It's not kid friendly. Jeez. Oh, and this game, as epic as it is not afraid to be very lighthearted at times. In fact, a lot of times. So this game has a load of humor on top of being an epic adventure. Who is this bouncing little bug? Again, what is... oh my... Nice to meet you, Isun. That's one of his drawings. Apparently you can see the drawing when it's flopped right in front of your face. I would think it would be too dark to be able to see that, but apparently not. That just can't be, I mean, that can't be sanitary. You may want to take a bath. Oh my. No! Anything but that needle! Wait, what's going on? Yeah, this place doesn't look too friendly now, does it? In the fruit? Got it. See that fruit underneath the Sakuya picture over there? Yeah, that's the fruit that I'm supposed to cut down. But I don't have the necessary thing to be able to cut it down. I was gonna say what I wanted to say, but even saying what I wanted to say might be a spoiler here. At least until I get back over here. I'm going to play this game up until I cut that fruit down, and then that'll be the end of this random gameplay video. You'll see why I'm doing that once I get to that point, so I recommend you stick around until the very end. Holy jeez, it's already been like 18 minutes in this recording. Anyway, go inside here. Wait, actually, you know what, I'll show you some of this, some of the, like, slight details that they add into this game. Anyway, control pad to move around. I'm gonna go back outside here. Like, if I were to attempt to go into the village, which is down this way, there's a wall blocking here. What in the world? There's something blocking the road leading back to the village. Am I still dreaming? You can go to another spot, and he'll actually say something different. I don't know why they bothered to do something like that, but it's just that they put so much effort into pretty much everything that you pretty much want to try everything multiple times if you want to see everything that was put into this game. Anyway, you can swing the Wii remote as he said. Well, actually, he didn't say that just yet. Oh, I'm not going to save my game just because this is a random video and I don't want to like make a new save file and stuff like that. Even though they give you ample amounts of save files, I'm just going to forget which save file that I was on, and yeah. Now, if you go around, okay, he'll tell you to swing the Wii remote to break the pots. Yeah. This is what I was doing earlier. You can do that to speed up your run, your dashing a little bit faster, rather than waiting for Amaterasu to charge up, because otherwise you'd have to keep running straight and then watch the screen. You see that? It was like a little burst of energy like that, and then she speeds up. Anyway, if you go around, like, here's another little fine detail here. If you go around and get to the corner, he'll teach you how to wall jump, which is jumping with the A button and then touching a wall and then jumping while touching that wall, like so. But you can sort of skip it by doing that, and then the cutscene will actually skip, but there'll be a different cutscene that will play right here. See, he was going to give you the tutorial, but he said, but I guess you already knew that. So it's even worth playing through this game multiple times and skipping past things to see what things that you missed the first time around. Holy Bones, they recover your solar energy, which is your life energy or heart containers in Zelda games. You can break all sorts of things to get cash money, as well as health, food, which will fill your astral pouch. More on that a little bit later. And sure, why not? I don't mind nicknames. I've been known as Justin J. PkGam. It all works for me. I was going to show you a little tutorial. What is this? A new art style? Yes, indeedly do. It is. That is a thing called a brush technique. And we're going to need to learn 2 of them before we get out of here in order to cut down that fruit. So, let's move on here. Now you see when we get to this part, there's this little puddle here of sorts. Not really much to see here, huh? Well, okay, let's just move on. And then Isun will turn yellow and point out the River of Heavens thing there. So that's apparently a Stardust River, and he said puddle too. Yeah, there's definitely nothing there, so let's just go up the hill. You can check that again if you'd like to by pressing the Z button, but I believe it'll just say the same thing. I'd rather move on and just keep going on with the gameplay here, because I showed you a lot of cutscenes already. And what? What is this? Hello there. Now you'll notice that there's a star at each of the little intersections where the lines touch. So, he's going to attempt to put a little dot there, but it failed! He failed miserably! Well, looks like it's my job. Hold the B button. Tap the A. Boop. Yeah, you move the brush on the screen by simply pointing with the Wii remote. It's different on the PlayStation 2 version where you use the control stick to move around. Oh my. I really hope you're friendly. Okay, you're friendly. That's... I mean, a dragon that isn't friendly would not apologize. Yes, I know he's friendly. As I said, I've played this game before. Multiple times, actually. It's one of my favorite games of all time. This game definitely deserves to be played multiple times, that is for sure. So yes, Yomigami here turned into a constellation over a long period of time, apparently for some reason. I don't quite understand that myself, but but a part of this game's storyline is finding these gods and getting the brush techniques from them. And this one is known as Rejuvenation. Yes, indeed I do. But Isun there is still doubting my godly powers. So let's prove him wrong, shall we? What? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I knew what to do there. I was just wondering why that stopped me there. But it's kind of funny, he doesn't attempt to draw in the stardust that I know of. Anyway, just jump in the water here, and I'll hold the B button. You'll notice that if you release it, you get this thing right there. Yeah, you gotta hold it. Now move the camera around and draw yourself in a nice, beautiful, starry river. Voila! And now we can swim across to the other side. For some reason, though, it doesn't always draw the full river. So you may have to, like, keep drawing yourself a path to get there. Like, see, I'm not going to be able to swim across at this point right here, so I'm going to have to draw a little bit more to get across. There we go. Boop. And here's another treasure chest. This is going to fill your astral pouch, which is going to describe the astral pouch for me, actually. Look what you found, Furball! The astral pouch here is amazing! When it's completely full of food, it can revive you if you die. And you can get food from pots like this. It's an orange! Woohoo! I believe it takes like 100 to fill the astral pouch, if I'm not mistaken. I never actually paid attention to that, surprisingly, depending on... I mean, no matter how many times I played through this game, I never paid attention to when my astral pouch was full. It's just that I always filled it up through time, and I just never paid attention to what the maximum was that I needed it to, you know, to have to revive me. I just went with the flow. I'd say because of that astral pouch, it's and this game is also pretty easy in general. It's pretty hard to get a game over. So while the game is actually pretty easy, it's still very, very worth playing. Just look at the beauty. The beauty! As I said, I wanted to talk about this game's graphics. And again, you cannot tell me that this game looks bad. It's impossible, unless, you know, you're like lying or something like that. Or you for some reason hate art or something like that, which I would be very surprised. Over here is a stray bead. There is 100 in the world. Collecting them will give you a special reward, as it said. You will never find them at a place that you cannot go back to. So yeah, you want to collect as many of those as you go. Just take some time to explore your surroundings and get used to the controls. Like you can, those rocks right here, these rocks are actually more than just detail, as you will be seeing soon enough. Just saying. Some things that look like they blend in actually are a part of the game's importance. Oh geez, we're trapped. I'm claustrophobic. Help! Ooh, beautiful statue. Hey, what the heck is wrong with the sword? Well, let's give our rejuvenation a shot here, shall we? And draw ourselves a sword going up. Whoop. Would you look at that? The sword is back intact. And now Isun is a believer. Another constellation? What is this blasphemy? Another power already? Come on now. And boop. Oh, cute little rat. Holy crap! These brush gods are frightening. Holy poopers! Where'd that blade come from anyway? Anyway, PkGam here is going to give you an ability known as Power Slash. Yes, Power Slash, and that is what we need to cut down that fruit way, way back at Kamiki Village. Well, what's left of Kamiki Village. Voila! And now, I can cut stuff. Like, believe it or not, certain rocks. And some people have trouble with the Power Slash. You can do this two ways. I'll show you the way most people do it first. Is that they attempt to like draw a line carefully through... That actually worked. Well, they try to draw a straight line carefully through the rock, and they get like a curvy line, and it just doesn't work for them, and it just... They have to keep trying, it fails, but there's a way to do that a little bit easier, and I'll be able to show you by testing it on the rest of the rocks that you'll see along the way there. In fact, there is a rock off to the left here. And another thing that I'd like to show you about this game's high attention to detail is that if you wouldn't go off to the left over here to explore the area a little bit more, you would not see that there is a little pond of water in here that increases this area's beauty greatly. And you probably also would notice the beams of light that are coming down from the top if you're just rushing through here as well. You can use Power Slash to cut stuff like this, like that, and that was again me not doing the thing that I was going to show you next. What you're supposed to do, or I should say the thing that I recommend that you do, is to hold the Z button to make a straight line across. That'll let you draw a straight line across the screen. And that'll do it pretty much every time, no matter what you do, because you get a straight line. It's straight lines that trigger the Power Slash, basically. And now we go over to here. Oh no! What are we supposed to do? Yep. that should be pretty obvious if you have something that can cut rocks. I mean, geez, you can cut a wooden gate easily. Well, strangely, some stuff can't be cut. Well, like, I was able to cut that lantern, but, like, if I were to try cutting this tree, it does... Oh, wait, some trees just, like, bounce in place and then just, like, restore themselves comically, but that one didn't. If I were to try cutting the gate does not cut whatsoever. See that? It was doing a little comical sound there. Oh, no, wait, that was actually when I ran out of ink. I wasn't paying attention to my ink. Oh no, what is this blasphemy? These are green imps. This is your first enemy, and it's... Don't worry, this game does not have random battles whatsoever. But they do have battles that surprise you at times, like this one here. It's a part of the game's story. You'll see as you go if you continue to play this game. But whenever an enemy turns gray, they're vulnerable to certain powers, so to speak. In this case, the ones are the power slash on the green imps. And whenever you get like a pink cherry blossom like that, that's the best possible ranking that you can get for the battle, the damage and time thing. So I did pretty well there. And I didn't explore this now, did I? Well, that's okay. Now, as I said before, there's rocks that you can cut along the way back, and I'm going to do it without holding the Z button again, and surprisingly I was successful. It seems to work better if you don't hold the Z button, if you go and cut quickly, rather than trying to make a line slowly, like if you were to actually slash with a sword per se. And let's cut down the forest! I think I'm too far away, actually. Oh no, that worked! Managed to cut two trees at once there. And I believe that battle that I got in back there normally occurs way back over past this gate, but because I took so long back... Oh, I guess there's a second battle, because you're able to actually skip that first battle sometimes. I'm not exactly sure how you skip it, to be honest. And why was I not attacking? That was kind of weird, actually. Do not attack me with your flutes. Flutes are not made for stabbing wolves. Well, even though you're using them as such. Voila. And the spirit globes like that are restorations of solar energy. And yeah, because I took damage and sort of dilly-dallied around there, I got the normal tree and not the cherry blossom tree as my ranking. I believe there's 3 sets of rankings: the cherry blossom, the normal tree, and a dead tree. Anyway, we gotta backtrack over to that rather dead tree that had the fruit that was surprisingly growing on it, despite being a very dead-looking tree, but it did seem to be alive in some way, because, you know, she made it appear out of nowhere, made it grow out of nowhere. Well, being a wood sprite, I suppose she could do that after all. So let's just gallivant our way back over there, use our colorful words, and... Woohoo! Oh, by the way, since I didn't show you this earlier, this would be the place that Isun would teach you the wall jump technique. See, there's no fence over there, like there is over there, but you can, as I showed you, cheat it before if you swing the Wii Remote in midair to make Amaterasu jump forward, or I should say dash forward, but otherwise that would be the place that you would get the tutorial right there, because there is no fence over there. Did I say gate before? I meant fence. Anyway, now here's an actual gate. Yeah, if you ever stop on one of those, you can save your game by pressing the Z button, but I'm not going to be doing that. Because as I said, don't want to make a new save file for this random gameplay video. Now, right here is going to be the end of the video. If you had any doubts that graphics like this couldn't make for very beautiful artistic visuals, if you have any doubts still remaining in you, watch this. I love those scenes. Come on, try telling me that wasn't gorgeous without lying. Well, anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. I may make a walkthrough on this game one day because it is one of my favorite games of all time. But as of right now, I'm not going to, because I never 100%ed the game despite me loving it so much, but I have played through it multiple times. So I'm just going to end it off here and leave you to hopefully buy this game and play through it yourself. I highly recommend this game. As I said, easily one of my favorite games of all time. If I made a top 10 list, this game would be in it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you later.